welcome back to another edition of The Morning View.
Yes, people, what's going on? Good morning, welcome back to United View. Andre Onana has left Manchester United. Not officially by the club, but he's going to leave on loan. And I've been thinking, and some people have been not understanding this. There's reports saying that Andre Onana got a pay rise. It's not a pay rise flex. It just means with bonuses or yeah, he's about to earn more money. I don't care how it's gone. He's going to earn more money. Like for the football finances and all of that, you people can work that out. I just know he's getting more money. So he stunk it out for 2 years. Made some of the most horrific mistakes you'll ever see. Gets to leave on loan, not guaranteed pass it, on loan, and get more money for at least a year. Fairs. I'm not even hating. It's just funny how football works. But Man United have made a statement. Ruben Amorim has made a statement. It is a little late. It should have happened earlier, but the work has been done. Andre Onana is out the door at Manchester United. And Seni Lamans, the spot is yours, kid. Step up. Or Altai, whoever it's going to be, step up. The number one at Man United is vacant for Seni Lamans, and it's time to him to take it. Let's see if he does. Smash a like on the video, people. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Listen, I couldn't even take in the news properly, on the way back from places, and I see that it's agreed, and then I'm like, hold on a minute. This has been really quick. I've come back, and all of a sudden, he's just not there. So, yeah. Before we get into everything else, though, like you see there on the scroller, right there next to Owen, to the left of his head, Oxford Natural, yes, by Gowan Life. They are the people who are sponsoring this video. You can scan the QR code to subscribe and save up to 70% off your Optimum products. And here is how you can do it. Today's video is sponsored by our friends at Oxford Natural and their all-new natural supplement, Optimum Day and Night. Thousands across the UK, USA, and beyond are smashing their health goals with Oxford Natural. Optimum Day gives you steady energy, curbs your cravings, and keeps your metabolism firing all day. Optimum Night helps you relax, get restorative sleep, recover, and keep burning fat while you rest. It's not a magic pill, but it will help you reach your health goals. Check out some of the incredible results. Two of our own, OWEN, lost over 100 pounds in 10 months, and KG dropped 30 pounds in 4 months. In 8 months, football legend Michael Owen lost 35 pounds, and Robbie from AFTV, Don Robbie, lost over 80 pounds. And in 6 months, Anita, an award-winning immigration lawyer, lost 44 pounds, and Linda, a law firm executive, lost over 50 pounds. No gimmicks, no needles, just results. Oxford Natural, let's get to work. People, it's all in the video there to get optimized. We've been following it. You guys have been enjoying it and following it as well yourselves. You've let us know about some of your testimonies as well. And that's what we want to hear, man. Keep healthy. You know what I'm saying? It's not a cheat code. You got to put the work in amongst other stuff, but it's a really good step in the right direction if you stay consistent with it as well. Don't say we gatekeep. We do not. Use code United View to get your to save up to 70% off your Optimum products. UV. Sorry, UV.
UV.
Sorry. UV, use code UV to get up to 70% off your products. Right. Owen.
Yes.
I mean, I'm still a little bit like, oh, right.
Yeah, well, it's funny. It's funny. I think it was this time last week. Well, no, because the transfer window closed this time last week. It was the day after. There was some stuff about Andre Onana going to Turkey. And, at the time, it was kind of about, believe it when I see it. Are they kind of just trying to squeeze the last little bit out of this transfer window? Is that what's happening? No, indeed, is real. If you didn't see the news yesterday, Andre Onana has agreed to join Trabzonspor with a here we go from Fabrizio Romano. All contracts now signed on the player side. There was this little period where United had agreed it with the Turkish club first, and we were waiting on Andre Onana to give the sort of green light to it. And there was a bit of, what's going to go on there? Is he actually going to accept it? Is he going to screw us over? But as Flex mentioned earlier on, he is going to receive a pay rise. Yes, Andre Onana, somehow, after all that he's done over the last few years, is actually getting rewarded. Laurie Whitwell from The Athletic reporting that Trabzonspor will cover Andre Onana's full Manchester United salary, with him set to earn extra due to bonuses. Sources close to the player say he will earn almost double at the club. Double. Yes, double.
Almost double with the bonuses, bro.
And you still getting some people splitting hairs going, well, it's not really a pay rise.
Idiots online kept saying that to me. Oh, shut up,
Fabrizio, who said this morning, Andre Onana will earn higher salary. I mean, I don't know how much more in black and white this needs to be put out there. Higher salary at Trabzonspor, with a move set to be announced this week. It's the same salary structure he had at United, covered by the club, plus bonuses and a signing on fee. He is going to make more money than he did at Manchester United. I mean, are we now getting into this sort of weird, like, what constitutes a pay rise kind of scenario?
It's very, very odd. Owen, it's my own fault, because sometimes I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to retire on X. There's no point putting you. It's the worst. It is actually one of the worst places. Seriously, it is. It is. You know, because I was like, I tweeted, I was like, oh, no, I still can't. I'm still taking this in. Like, he's got himself a pay rise, blah blah blah. He's gone, and you're still salty because he's getting paid more by someone else. Come on, Flex. Behave like a fan of a big club mentality, says Jarrell. Like, what are you talking about, bro? Like, what does that even mean? Like, it's not a pay rise from the club. I think it's lost in translation. All right, okay.
Well, if I left this, right, and I go somewhere else to another job, yeah, and I'm earning more money, that's a pay rise.
It's a pay rise.
I don't know how much more to kind of. I'm not even sure what's difficult to kind of wrap my mind around with that one. You're making more money, so but it's not a pay rise.
It's not a pay rise.
I am.
It's more. Washington NDLO says, I like you, Flex, and the United view. This is under the comments of me saying, oh my God, he's got a pay rise. I like you, Flex, and the United view. But the man is leaving after giving his all. Even if it wasn't good enough, why do you care about how much he gets paid? I mean, and then I had to just log out. That's what I mean. I just had to log out. If you can't see the irony or a little bit of laughter or a little bit of, of like, how do I need to spell this out? He's come here, been shit. So that means your stock should fall. So you probably won't be getting a pay rise when you leave. And the irony is, like, he's got a pay rise after being probably the worst keeper in Europe for 2 years.
There's other parts of that as well. He's given us all right, it's not good enough. You go, that all right, it's not good enough. There's a lot in that. There's a lot in that. All right, it's not good
26 enough. Goals I saw on that comp, or 29 or something like that.
And this is the other part of it as well. I don't think anyone begrudges him going to get more money as well.
No, that's why I said he probably won't care, nor should he.
That was kind of the reason why Man United fans were trying to sell him on, go to like Saudi or maybe go to. There's money in Turkey now. Look, Victor Osimhen's out there. He's earning money. Leroy Sané's out there. There's money there. John Duran, he went from Saudi to Turkey. There's money.
Oh, yeah.
You can go get money there. It's great. You know what I mean? Everyone's trying to sell him on
then it was, Onana, your country, that thing, that poster, your country needs you. That's what it was. Onana, bro. Cameroon, listen. It's, September, October, November, December. Yes, 5 months. No, come on, bro. Yeah, there's a lot going on. You need to be tip-top condition. It's a great opportunity. And he's agreed.
Yeah, it's good.
Yes, but in all honesty, what was interesting, actually, let's get the super chats out straight away. It's hotting up. Aminor says Amorim has no more complaints. He must get top 6. There we go. We're pivoting to this. This is what this means. This is what that means. Waz says, do you think if he goes permanently, we go for Martinez 2? We have to wait and see. End of the year. Aminor says Onana has put back black goalkeeper relations by 50 years. Well, I mean, there's a lot of. I know sometimes black goalkeepers get like a negative press of like they're not very good sometimes. And look, if Onana was going to disprove maybe those types of notions, maybe that wasn't the best 2 years, but hey.
Well, Andre, it's not even anything. Andre Onana's put back Cameroonian goalkeeping relations.
Yeah. Maybe goalkeeping relations.
Ex-Inter and, Ajax goalkeeping relations, right?
Yeah. Just even young kids who are thinking, I know, I might want to be a keeper. He's put them back too.
Yeah,
grassroots. I said it's grassroots. It's everything.
He's put back,
Power League. Do you want to go in goal?
He's put back Vaseline relations. The amount of he puts on his gloves, you know what I mean? He's constantly putting that on after a ball's gone in. You go, come on, Andre.
Exactly. TK says the tax system in Turkey allows him to earn more. He probs won't have the Europe 25% reduction as well. Yeah, I've seen some people sort of saying it will allow him to earn more because of this, that, and the other, and taxes and bonuses. Anyway, it still means he earns more. Like, that's what I'm saying. But thank you, TK, for breaking that down. And Manny says, you know what's wrong with our fan base? The same people that want Lammens to start in the biggest derby are the ones that will be saying he better deliver. The lad hasn't played a Premier League game. Start him against Chelsea. We're going to get into that, Manny. We're going to get into that.
We were having that conversation on the Full View last night. It was quite an interest. I was surprised how unanimous it was of like, oh,
they want to just throw him in, innit? It's crazy to me.
And I was a bit taken aback by that because I think once again we're going into the dangerous territory of something that we know probably isn't going to happen, and then when it doesn't happen, we're going to get really angry that it hasn't.
Ruben's a coward.
You know what I mean?
Got rid of a worst goalkeeper to still play one of the worst ones.
If we let us know in the chat, what would you like Ruben to do versus what do you think he would do? Because I think those are two very different things on this one. I think a lot of people would like, oh yeah, give him a go and put him in there because if he's good, then he's good, right? And he'd be like, oh look, this is a massive change. But I really don't think he puts him in straight away. I don't. I think another part of it as well is from day dot, even before we signed Senna Lawrence, it was he's competing and he's not necessarily going to be number one straight away, and it's one for the future. Now that might have been just to placate everyone and keep everyone in check and keep your owners happy. Of no, he's not coming in to force you out. It's competition, competing, but it's a big call, isn't it, to throw him right in the Manchester derby at the Etihad away? But then
I'm sorry, I just don't even think it's the right call.
Then you have to weigh up the risk of. Yeah, but if I put Bayern in there, what's that going to look like? Because it's still not going to be great, is it?
Hey, we beat Arsenal with Bayern in goal. I know it went to pet. Like, it's not what we.
Yeah, but we lost Arsenal with Bayern in goal, and he made a mistake.
Yeah, true, exactly. But what we've done, right? And I'm part of this. Yeah, is because the goalkeeping department has been so shit with Onana at the helm. Then we had a couple of looks at Altay Bayındır here and there, and we went, oh my God, he's terrible. We've convinced ourselves that we can't play a game with Altay Bayındır in goal. Like, we can't do anything. And I don't think that's necessarily true. Yes, of course, from the corners, we won at the Etihad. We won last year at the Etihad
I think we've convinced ourselves with Bayındır that
the kid we've never heard of, he's never played at this level, he's never been to Old Trafford before. That's what we've convinced ourselves.
I think what we've convinced ourselves is in those big games, i.e. like when we played Arsenal in the first game of the season, the difference between us winning and losing that game was what? The goalkeeper. So I think the concern is, well, in another big game against Manchester City, do we really want to come out of it and go, the only difference today was actually the goalkeeper? Had we had a better keeper, we'd have probably got something out of that game. It's not necessarily, if we were playing Burnley again, you'd be like, well, look, if Lammens isn't ready, it's not the end of the world. Bayındır will be fine. But it's those big games, isn't it? It's the big ones. That's the worry with Bayındır. But then you have the same worry about dropping the kid in as well. That's the only problem.
For me, I think we're so happy that Onana's gone that we're forgetting that the kid coming in, I know people say he's 23, he's not that young, but in terms of his career, he's inexperienced. I think we're forgetting that. Like, he's going to be at Carrington this last 2 weeks with basically nobody there, not the people he's going to be playing with. And you're saying have 2 training sessions and throw him in. I think you only do that if there's no goalkeepers and like there was just a goalkeeping crisis and no one's fit. I think Bayındır's got a bit of rhythm. Don't don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he's the future. Like, the number one spot is there for Larmans to lock down. Like, it's going to happen. I think so. Otherwise, we wouldn't have done this. But I don't think we should be just be so ecstatic that Onana's gone. It's like, play the new kid straight away. Like, I do think there needs to be like, well, let's get him in training. Let's see how he is with the team. Let's see how he's dealing with the physicality. Let's see how he's settled down. Like, we don't know any of these things. We saw it with Benjamin Sesko. We're like, we've needed a striker.
Ready with that, though. If he's ready, though, we're based on that training. If they have the training, then they go, look, he's ready.
If he plays, I'm not going to be like, you idiot, Ruben, what are you doing? He's never going to be ready. I'm just saying, where people are
what
like,
if he makes a mistake?
What do you mean? Oh, then here's the thing. This is the thing, though, Owen. We can't do this because in any game at any moment, any keeper can make a mistake, and the thing of coincidence will kick in. If we carry on with Bayern out of kid needs a bit of time, he's just come here, which is what will happen. Ruben will say, "Yep, he's on the bench. You know, he's come here, he's settled in. Only 2 days training, so he's finding his feet." That's will be the line. I'll be stunned if he starts. Never going to happen.
But the Šeško situation is different, isn't it? Because the Šeško one, from what we now understand, is look, he hadn't played 90 minutes since April, and he played 45 minutes twice in pre-season, but starting in the Premier League, that's a different kettle of fish. And to be fair, when we've seen him, he does look like a player good. He doesn't look very sharp. Goalkeeper, it's a different kind of fitness, isn't it? It's not like you're going to go, oh, he doesn't look fit. You know, he doesn't look as sharp or what have you. Sometimes it is just a concentration thing with a goalkeeper. Do you have those are your reflexes as sharp as they could be because you haven't played football in a long time? What are your speeds getting down, getting up? What is your communication like with the defense in front of you, right? Because it's really important how you communicate with your back four, in this case, your back three. It's those kind of things.
What's it like at this level? Like, you've got to bark orders at the Etihad to like some big boy players. Like, you got told to "Oi, you come in here!" Like, you know,
but then
like senior pros. I know,
but Bayern did doing that. It's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bayern did. You don't get the impression that Bayern did is barking massive orders to, De Ligt or Lenny Yoro or Luke Shaw.
It's 50-50. Look, if Bayern starts and we lose, and he didn't look, and the corner thing happens again, like Fulham, everyone's going to say this is why the kid should have played. If the kid starts and makes a mistake or shits himself, people are going to say this is why you don't put a kid in. Or a lot of people say, yeah, but he's a kid, you give him a chance, like it's the early De Gea thing. So, look, I just think with Arm, I just haven't allowed myself to go there because manager's just not going to do it. Like, he's just got here. He's going to have a look at him. And if he does do it, then I'll be like, wow, they really are like, this is the new number one, we're sure.
Yeah.
And fair. And listen, I'm giving him the time and space, by the way. As soon as we didn't get Emi Martinez and we got Larmans, my sort of period of getting used to it has gone up. Like, this is someone who's not been anywhere near this level. Do you know what I mean? Of competition.
Yeah.
So I mean, give him time.
He might put him in just because he's better for the game. I mean, this is the other part of it as well. Senna Lomans, one of the big, positives in him was that he claimed some of the most crosses in Europe last season, right? He had one of the highest save percentages and most shots saved and what have you. He had the highest crosses claimed in the Belgian league or what have you. So it might be a thing where, even whether he's ready or not, Ruben might look at it and go, we've just been so shit from corners, and City, Pep, they're a bit desperate at the moment. So they're not going to be above, big people coming up set pieces, right? You got Haaland in there. You got Diaz. I think Stones is injured, but they got big players. Rodri, if he's playing, they got tall players. We've got a small team. Actually, I'm going to need. I'm going to need a goalkeeper that's good at claiming crosses because our other one isn't. And look, and maybe he might have the mindset of, well, from set pieces, he can't be worse than Bayern Deer. Bayern Deer ends up on the floor. So if our goalkeeper comes out and claims one or two, that's better than nothing. And that might negate the other risks that come with it. So it might even necessarily be, atmosphere and the game, the pressure. But the other part of it might be, but he's best for what we need at the moment, which is that kind of from set pieces, crosses. We're really struggling. So maybe that might be better than nothing. And even if he does fumble one or two, he'll still so will Bayern Deer. So will Bayern Deer.
Maybe, and a bit of like you got to invest into this kid. Like, he's got to be the number one. So you got to start somewhere. even if the first few games are shaky. Look, there's arguments for both, and listen, both can absolutely happen. I just can see a world. I don't understand the people who can't see a world where he starts. Where he doesn't start, because the manager's like, I can just envisage word for word the pre-match. No Sonny Larmans today from the start. Ruben, thoughts behind that? Just come here, just only 2 training sessions with the full team, finding his feet, trying to buy a house. Just like, I'm sure he needs time, but he's going to be really good for us, I'm sure. I can just see that happening. But also, it would be a breath of fresh air. I do get what people are saying. It would be a breath of fresh air to say, throw him in and, just go from there. He's got to work at it, innit? Like, there you go. There's 2 big games. You can experience City away straight away. And then the opposite of like a big home game against Chelsea, crowds up 75,000. This is almost saying straight away, this is what it is to be at Man United. Is that better?
Because that's the other part of it, isn't it? It's like you say, if it was a case of, all right, it's the Etihad, yeah, so where's a tough one to come back from?
If he would have been there, Uncle, from earlier, he would have had more experience with Wally. What are you talking about? He would have been with the team more. That's my point. That doesn't make any sense. He says, Flex, you said we should have brought in a keeper early. Now we bring in one and you don't want him to play. It doesn't make sense. My point for him not playing is because he wasn't here early. If he was here early, i.e. through the preseason, he would have been more comfortable.
That does make sense.
What are you talking about?
Uncle, you had a stinker there, mate.
Just because Tommy.
You said, wow, controversy. Okay, Uncle's a bit of a
because he's young. Yeah, he's young.
Remember, I told you that ages ago. Remember, it was around SJ Awards. I went, Uncle, and I kept that under my hat. Don't say you can't trust me with a secret. Okay, yeah, Uncle, I kept that.
Yeah.
I kept that. Yeah, and I was like, you realize Uncle's like not really an uncle. That's the whole thing.
Uncle says, but he has 2 weeks international break.
Well, that's
with no one there.
That's the example for certainly the settling part of it. You know what you say when they say about a house and moving, you go, well, you've had the whole international break, for that part of it. But the part about with the team, they always say international breaks are difficult, because it was like it with with Ugarte last season, and before that Amrabat. We sign these players on deadline day, and we're like, right, they're going to start, and then they don't start for like 6 weeks, and they always just go. It's always the same reason, isn't it? It's always the same reason where it's like, oh well, not really ready, integrating the team, this, that, and the other. So, like you say, I will not be shocked if he doesn't start. I would be pleasantly surprised if he does. But the more I've sort of spoken about it in the last sort of 5-10 minutes, I have kind of thought, well, maybe he might, just because actually he's better suited for the game. Maybe it's just actually, what's the worst that can happen? All right, he makes a mistake. Bayern Deer can make a mistake. Any goalkeeper can make a mistake.
Yeah, anyone can make a mistake. Yeah, anyone can make a mistake.
Exactly. So, is what it is. And with a goalkeeper, that can be character building. That can be very character building for a goalkeeper.
Yeah,
right?
You go through them tough moments and you go, bloody hell, is this for me? You know those like up and down. Yeah. Well, like Ruben, sometimes I want to quit. Sometimes I want to stay here for 20 years. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
It's a baptism of fire, and like you say, the goalkeeping position is the most lonely on the pitch. Like you're out there on your ones in it. So, look, if he does start, I'll be there, supporting him, etc. I just don't think he will. I just don't think our manager will take that gamble. I know but the gamble but I get all of it. I'm just saying, I don't think Ruben, don't know his middle name, Amorim, is going to take that chance. We will see. We will see. Whether he does or he doesn't. What I did want to talk about, Mohammed said free from Onana. Sorry. Manny says, I think it's a moot point in terms of results. City are right. We will batter them. Well, look at that. We're going to batter City. Shout out Father JP says, happy Monday, UV family. Onana finally about to catch something. A damn flight to Turkey. Maybe he will cut the high top. Big up everywhere. He ain't cutting that high top, but that's so iconic. Even the Nigerian keeper's got one now. See that?
I know, yeah.
You know what I mean? So shout out the Nigerians and that. KG, what you lot saying? You lot got your own very own.
Oh, he's getting flashbacks. I think he already said, I don't know if I can deal with that.
Yeah, and he looks up to Onana, sort of saying, yeah, I hope I can meet him. And, so.
Of all the people to look up to.
There you go, man. Shout out Andre, man.
Andre. that is like the biggest, isn't it? Who's your goalkeeper idol? Oh, it's Andre Onana.
Red flag.
That is like.
Oh, by the way, actually, you just reminded me. So when I realized the other day we had like the garage theme tune, and I was saying like, oh, it'd be so good if we get like a reggae one or like a hip hop one, or just loads of different genres. Well, someone reached out to me. It won't mean a lot of sense to you, Owen, but I'll just give you the quick breakdown. Shout out all the dancehall. All right, okay, so I'll do it as if you do know what I'm saying. Shout out all the dancehall fans in the chat, including Owen. Dancehall Legends, or one part of the Dancehall Legends, Ward 21, right? Big group. They are responsible, in my opinion, for one of the top 5 dancehall rhythms of all time, and that is called the Bellius rhythm, right? Shout out Capleton, Slew Them, one of the greatest tunes ever made, yeah? So someone said to me, I mean, Owen's looking very confused. Someone said to me that, because I saw that they follow me, and I said, you see it there? Johnny says it. See them run, see them run, see them run, see them run. Yeah. Anyway, right? Yeah. So Owen's following this.
Yeah.
I went on Twitter and I added him, and I said, maybe we could have like a United View Bellius remix. You know what I mean? Shout out Coonley.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, within 2 days, Coonley, one part of Ward 21, has gone studio and made us our very own United View Bellius Rhythm remix. And
really?
Listen, yes, and it's proper. And I sent it to Josh, and Josh was going crazy. Owen, I'm going to send it to you so you can, get familiar with it. I'll also send you one of the originals, because it's one rhythm track with like 20, 25 cuts on it, the same beat, different artists, how it works in dancehall.
Of course.
And
dancehall. Who are you talking to, mate?
Yeah, so I know you know. Yeah, Johnny, Johnny, it's been done, bro. I have it in my inbox, bro. United View Bellius. Like, you're not saying play it now, but I don't know if we should premiere it in this way. I feel like I need to give it to Josh to do it proper. Yeah. But all I'm saying is, in my inbox right now, there is a United View mix-up of the Bellius rhythm, officially done by one part of Ward 21. That is like, okay, Owen, let me put it in Owen terms.
I get it. I get the magnitude of it.
This is like,
I totally understand. You know,
this is like Aerosmith.
Oh, you said at the same time.
What's your favorite Aerosmith song? I don't know. What's your favorite? Have you got a favorite band, Owen? Have you got a favorite band?
No, I don't do favorites. I don't like.
All right. Well, it's like Blink 182, one of their bangers. Like, they just remixed it and sent you your own dub plate of it.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah.
That's
so
cool.
Anyway, that's what's going on. The power of UV. Shout out to the people who made it happen. Father says it's the times when Onana concedes and the camera cuts to him and he's just stood there with that awkward smile. It hurts my chest every time. Or he's just pulling up his socks or fixing the gloves. Or that little smirk where it's almost like he wants to laugh himself. Bro.
Do you remember his first? It wasn't an official appearance, but when his first game for United in the friend, and after that, he was like, I won't do that anymore. And he kind of thought, did he stop doing that because he realized it wasn't the thing to do? Or did he stop doing that because when you're making the mistakes that he makes, you can't scream at people like that. You can't, because imagine that you go up to a defender, what the fuck are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. They were like, mate, you're literally throwing the ball in the net and you're going to have a go at me for passing it bad or whatever, or missing a header or losing my man from a corner. You're running into, you've literally on multiple occasions done the same mistake, which you run out to punch the ball and just smash into someone and give away a penalty. Like, it's unbelievable. Like, I just can't believe, to be fair, and you got to give Ineos credit here, that they've been able to pull this off. I'm still, notice everyone's been quite quiet about, like, letting Trabzonspor know, like, what they've got themselves in for. Everyone's like, oh, no, it's great. It's great. You've got yourself a keeper there. Because we don't want to jeopardize it. We don't want to ruin it. It's like we know the house has got mold everywhere, but no one's spotted it yet. So we're like, well, if you want to close on the deal, that's totally fine.
It's fine. We'll sell it. Sold as seen.
Yeah.
Sold as seen.
Yeah.
Don't come back and say, you didn't tell us.
Yeah,
you do wonder that, though, innit? Like, like people at Trabzonspor, the people who make decisions, is it like, when it goes horribly wrong at one
it's
club,
a Manchester United goalkeeper.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it must be Man United, because that's what they do to players. They make them rubbish. Yeah. Like, could Andre Onana just go there and, like, these things just aren't a thing?
No, I don't.
Were these comps like this at Inter? It was only there a year, innit?
Well, they were definitely like that Ajax. That,
Yeah,
I remember.
I've seen comps.
I remember. They're definitely like that Ajax, and there's some crazy ones. Like he did one against Liverpool, I think it was in the Champions League. Like he's done them for a long time, and I'm sure they are there. Inter, you know,
Yeah.
I'm sure. So like,
This is crazy.
But this is when you go to like looking at the window, isn't it? When you say, I know it was frustrating at points because it took a while to get some of those players out, and we all knew it was going to be at the end of the window of a lot of them. Oh, it's going to come down to deadline day and what have you. But when you look at the window as a whole, you go, if you'd have told me before that transfer window opened, we'd get Onana out, Garnacho out, Anthony out, Sancho out, Rashford out in one window, I'd be like, I tell you what, who we brought in then? Who we brought in? You go, well, we've brought in Brian and Bumo. You go, oh, I like that. Mateus Cunha, all right. Benjamin Šeško, well, you've been following him for a while. And we got a goalkeeper. It's probably it's not one you've heard of, but we'll see. We'll see. But hopefully, surely it can be better than Andre Onana. I tell you what, I'll take that window. You know, yeah, obviously we can go. So we didn't get a midfielder, and that leaves us light, and that's going to be an issue for us this season. But you're never going to fix all of Manchester United's issues in one transfer window. But I tell you what, it's not bad. Last night on the Full View, Brad, it was a 6 out of 10 because we didn't get a midfielder and Ruben Amorim's still at the club. But 6 for Brad is big. You know,
yeah, I was going to say that's quite positive. Yeah,
yes, it's a positive one. So it's a solid window. I mean,
yeah. Well, Lux Hill says now that Onana's gone, it's an 8 out of 10. I think, and this is what I did want to.
Højlund as well gone. Another one. I forgot about that. Højlund.
What I wanted to explore now for the second half of the show is this. Actually, before we do it, how are we with the housekeeper now? Where are we at? What's going on?
We've got close to 1,700 people watching. We're less than 350 likes, Fleck. So if you haven't already, click the like button. Let's get to 500. We can get to 750 this morning while we're live. Why not?
Like up the team. Let's do it.
Yeah, and we're less than 100 subscribers away from 205,000.
Come on, man. There's got to be at least 100. Maybe not. It's probably a bit much. But yeah, there's a lot of you probably still haven't. So let's go. Let's get to 205K. Let's talk about this, actually. Let's talk about this properly. I wanted to talk about this for a while. Because obviously we have sort of been doing a little bit of like, summing up the window out of 10 and stuff. But we'll do that. There are some stuff we'll do tomorrow as well as a whole. But in terms of like, when you look at what's happened, it is quite significant. I mean, I've seen some people saying that, listen, you don't fool me, look how late this is. Like if you would have did this 3 games ago, we would have had some, a lot more points on the board by the first 3 games, potentially, why was it such a late priority, etc., etc. Or you can look at it like, look, by the absolute end of the window, in terms of the Turkish one as well, so really pushing it, you've managed to do what needed, that had to happen. Like, the club is seeing what we're seeing. Like, this keeper is just not it. He's had 2 years, like the Omar Barada thing. You're going to get 2 years. If you ain't it, you're gone. Rasmus Højlund. And he was someone where, a lot of people like. He's doing things the right way, just not good enough. 2 years there, you're not it. Let's see what happens with Ugarte after this year. Let's see what happens with, and then obviously the 5 that were left to the side to say, see you later, have all gone. They got it done.
Apart from Malacia.
But I think Malacia is the only one, but he was like out of the 5 where you're like, a bit harsh putting him in that. He is surplus, but it's like, whatever happens. The main ones. Now, yes, Rashford's on loan, Sancho's on loan. We understand this. But with the hand that Ineos have been dealt, they never gave out those wages, all those contracts to Onana, to Rashford, to Anthony, to any of them that have left. So they understood that assignment, and they did do what needed to be done. Was it too late? Yes, a bit. Like it should have been earlier, but they're still ticking some boxes of what needs to be done, and the ruthlessness is there. Because actually, to get Andre Onana out within 2 weeks to say, right, here's what we're going to do. Ruben, or whether Ruben said it to them, he said, I'm not picking him. Straight away, you're just not playing in the Premier League. That's going to be the biggest shockwave. We're going to set the tone. We're going to sign the other keeper as well, while Andre's still here. That's what we're going to do. He's signing. And then push him out. Make it clear. And they did it to Højlund and him. So, and the 5 that weren't there. So that ruthlessness from Ineos, is there. It's not there perfectly. Yeah, we have to wait ages for Garnacho, wait ages for Anthony. It's deadline. I get all that, but that's just because we're in a shit situation. But the intent was there.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think the argument obviously can be made. Oh, if we'd have done all this business early on, we'd be in a better position. Well, yeah, obviously. But then I think we have to be realistic and say, but how possible was it to actually do that business that early? It wasn't.
Yeah,
it wasn't. We said since the day the window opened that the majority of that bomb squad, it was going to be like the last week of the window because it just always was. It was always going to be that. Like it just, particularly with the position that we've kind of put ourselves in with them, exiling them, which, look, there's a huge conversation right now in football with it about player power, isn't there? Again, saying about, you know, do you have to be, if you want to get a move, do you have to be a bastard, basically, and refuse to play and exile yourself or be exiled, then a deal can get done? Or do you do a Mark Gahey and play by the rules and not get your deal, and then suddenly it's left, you know, left even worse? And actually, even though it made it maybe more difficult for us, ultimately it was the right decision to say to that group of players, like, you're out. Because if we'd have integrated them back in and they've been playing in pre-season, there could have been scenarios where maybe they stay and I don't know how that's going to work out.
Blurs the lines for the team he's trying to create as well.
Exactly. It blurs the lines too much. And you just go, right, no, out the way. And eventually they leave. They get their, they move their way out. With the Onana one, you're right. They had to, and even actually Højlund, they had to maybe finesse it a little bit more, but they did it successfully, whereby Šeško, bring him in, sends a clear message to Rasmus, doesn't it? Rasmus, I still want to stay. All right, well, don't bring him on we won't bring him on then in the last friendly. And in the first couple of games of the Premier League season, we won't even name him in the squad. Message is clear, isn't it? Message is clear. You've got to go. I didn't really want to go, but okay. Andre Onana. Well, you know, he's going to compete for his spot. Let's bring in that goalkeeper. And then let's sort of go to Andre. Oh, by the way, we're not starting you in the Premier League games as well. Suddenly, about that Turkey loan that comes in, I guess I'll take that. Yeah, I'll have another look at that. Like they've managed to move players on outside of that, you know, bomb squad group that we thought would have been difficult to move on. Previously, a couple of years ago, Man United would have been able to move on Andre Onana after 2 seasons. Absolutely no way. Rasmus Højlund, they wouldn't even have bothered. They wouldn't even have bothered doing that because they'd been like, too difficult, can't do it. And actually, we want to get value out of the player on his contract, keep him in. And the fact that they've been able to move those players on, that's, to be honest, that's the more impressive part of this window for me. Man United's always been good at signing players. We can sign players, you know, but actually moving those players on, I think, is a positive. Now, some of them are more permanent than others, obviously. There's already that talk about Rashford. He might be coming back. And
but then shout out to Gwelem, though, Balaga. He rubbished that and said,
but what's funny,
doing, you know what I mean?
What's funny with that, like the suggestion was like, oh, Hansi Flickers, you know, said that he needs more from Rashford or whatever. And it's like that meme when it's like, oh, if it comes from this person, it's fine. If it comes from that person, it's not fine. You know what I mean? Other managers, when they've gone, need a little bit more from Marcus Rashford.
Did Hansi Flick actually? What did he say that?
I don't know. Well, that's what the reports are saying. That's what the report's saying. Already, maybe he needs a little bit more. And you go, it's funny how if it comes from someone else, you know, it's quite interesting. Yeah. It's a bit like we spoke about before we went live. Matheus Cunha over the weekend was at a UFC event in France. He's injured. He's got a hamstring injury. Now, it'd be very interesting to see if the roles were reversed and Marcus Rashford was injured at a UFC event, right? We'd be in an outrage. But there's not that baggage there with Matheus Cunha that there is with Marcus Rashford, right? So it's just funny how these different things, you know, generate different reactions. But the point being is that I do think that they've had a very good window in EOS. And we could say still, couldn't we? Oh, we haven't got a midfielder. But is it like a 10 out of 10 window even possible for Manchester United, realistically?
Well,
is our complaint that we didn't do a 10 out of 10 window? Because if that is proper like first world problems, isn't it?
No, we can't. No, I don't think that.
We didn't do a 10 out of 10 window flex. The club's mudded. Oh, yeah, we're so in the mud.
Hardly anyone. We didn't do what Liverpool just did, so that means it's a failure.
Yeah.
No, no spoilers, but Rory was telling me the other day on a piece of work we've done, coming out soon, that, you know, and United's had a terrible window. Shocking. Awful. The question gets to me because we're going around the table. You can't be happy with your selects, can you? Shocking, isn't it? Excuse me. Excuse me. I'll be the judge of that. Yeah. And I stick to what I've stuck to before, which is like a 6.5. In terms of a new attack, like you can't say fairer than that. You've got Cunha and Bumo and Sesko, mate. Like that's top. If you're just doing it off just attack, it's like an 8. Do you know what I mean? Let's be real. Maybe higher, because you've literally just gone and got like 2 Premier League proven players and then one of like the hottest young talents in Europe. Obviously, it's up to you to make that work. And what does it look like in your team, in your environment, under this manager, in this system? That's to be decided on. Like, we have to wait and see. But in terms of the player, the ability of the player, and the ceiling and the potential, it's right up there. We didn't get any central midfielders. That's a big 0 in that department. You can't.
I said, those attackers, they're players that any top 6 club, if they signed them this summer, you go, that's good signing for any of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whether or not they go straight into their starting 11 depends who they've got. But say if Arsenal signed Brian and Boomer, you go, that's a good signing for them. 100%. They were going after Sheshko. If Man City signed Mateus Cunha, you go, yeah, he'll do well there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. the only reason, and to be fair to the neutrals who just want to hate us and see us keep being shit, and it's hard to push back. Our track record is so bad of anything that, like, even the most sort of foolproof players of, you got him, he knows the league, he'll be fine there, surely. Even that F's up. Do you know what I mean? So I think that I think it's fair game, because if it was any other team that had the record that Man United had and I had to commentate on them or give my opinion, I wouldn't trust it until I saw it either. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
If I saw another team that has managers played nearly 50 games and got this record, I wouldn't say, but it's all been fine because the XG is high. They're going to be. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say it. So, if that was Arteta who had that thing and Arsenal fans were just saying, but their XG's high, we'd laugh at them. We'd laugh. Just like he's already said, we've got the most points, but haven't won no fucking trophies. We're laughing. It's the same thing. But you get people in this fan base telling fans not to say, I'm disappointed in you because look how high our XG is, and look at, like, once we start scoring, it'll be fine. But then the Arsenal manager literally says, we've got the most points in the last however many years out of all the teams. You've won nothing.
Well, and I remember last season under Erik ten Hag at the start of last season when he got sacked, it wasn't as if we weren't creating chances. We still created chances at the beginning of last season. we just missed them. Diogo Dalot missed an open goal in Erik ten Hag's last match, right? And we're still on that same spectrum of hypothetical FC, right? Which is still, if that goal had gone in, if that shot had gone in, if we scored those chances, it's always if. I'd much rather be saying it actually happened.
We've done it. Yeah. Shout out Frank from Amorim era. I think Frank was on the Ten Hag era as well. He always does the manager thing. Big up Frank.
Yeah.
I always chat to him. Because he said he was sad to see me say something, that I didn't think Ruben was going to turn it around. I don't think he is going to turn it around, but I hope I'm wrong. He said, Man United in the Premier League this season, first in shots, first in touches of opponent's box, first in accurate crosses, second in shots on target, second in expected goals, second in accurate long balls, fifth in possession. Sad to see Flex saying this. But I'd like to believe that the areas of our game are starting to take shape under Ruben Amorim. I'd love nothing more than for him to succeed at this football club, as it would mean the club is winning too.
With that, though, I would just say to that, and maybe Frank's watching, maybe he's not, but
shout out Frank.
What is the need to say the whole, like, sad to hear Flex saying this?
I think that bit is coming from, and I think it's people's perception of you. So all you do is you can go on this camera every day and give your opinion. When you do that for a sustained amount of time, people assess how they think, what sort of fan you are. And if you do something that maybe goes against what they think you are, it's basically saying, I'm sad to see it, as in I didn't think you would say.
Because that's for me, that's when it gets a bit weirdly personal. You know what I mean? Where it's a bit like, again, like that's like, that's the part I don't get. Like, we all have different opinions. If for instance, if KG and me, we've had millions of arguments on these shows. If KG says something to me like that, I'm never like, KG, I'm really sad to see you say something. I'd be like, you know what I mean? I'd be like, well,
and then it immediately pivots to this. If you base your opinion off of, like, I tell you what, I've seen nearly 50 games and I haven't seen enough. I don't think we're going in the right directions. It means that you've done this because you want clicks. Do you know how mad that is? Like, that's what I don't get about our record. That, like, again, people that think that it's just a matter of time before it clicks because the XG's high and we're top for this, top for that. I don't even call them people stupid or deluded, or I'm disappointed that you're ignoring that we've got more games than points. You're ignoring this, that, and the other and finish it. You're ignoring all of it. I'm really disappointed. I'm saying that's your opinion, and you can see something that's a bit positive and you can see it going in a different direction. I don't see that. So I don't understand why some people would sometimes ignore what you're actually seeing versus stats that back up something else and call somebody else like, I'm really disappointed in you, or you're just doing that. And Frank, I'm not saying it has done all of this, but there's other people that are just like, you're just a fake fan because you're this good. You don't want to back the manager no matter what. Like, you can't just blindly do stuff. You're allowed to be concerned.
Like it was Ryan the other week on a transfer view. He said, you can't win. If you're negative, you're doing it for views, money, and clicks. If you're positive, you're paid by the club, a shill, and an Ineos lover. You know what I mean? You can't either way. We're into that weird thing. Like, I'm sure now, based off, you know what I mean, this morning, you know, talking about, for me, I look at that window and I go, it's really good business, actually. I think we've done really well in comparison to recent windows. And even if you still say it's like a 6 or a 7 or an 8 out of 10 a window, for Man United, that's massive. That's massive because our windows are usually like 2s or 3s. But I'm sure that makes me an Ineos glazer and lover and what.
Well, and you got to remember though, half of the people who say mad stuff, like, I've never said, because then when you say, well, if you actually see, because I don't watch that shite. So you have no idea, like, what's even been said. You don't know. You might just see a thumbnail, or you just see a headline and you go, yeah, I knew it. But you haven't sat down and watched, like, what the reasoning behind the thing is. Or so saying like Onana to leave, you're just doing that for clicks, typical fan cam gobshite. So do you think Onana? Because what also happens is they never actually talk about your opinion, whether they agree with it or not. So say like, you know, Onana's not good enough. He's got to go. Yeah, who's this gobshite? The fake fan sports Spurs. And what do you think about Onana then? Do you agree with that?
And the other part of it as well, and this is something I can relate with James, because he said this quite a lot. And I remember saying this a lot with the Ten Hag stuff last season too. Of sometimes you don't really have that much of an opinion on stuff, which obviously doing what we do is quite difficult because you're here to give your opinions. But sometimes, like, you don't actually, like, sometimes I'll feel very indifferent to.
There's loads of things where you're like, you know what,
I don't really care. I don't really care. And the problem is with that, it's like, you're just sitting on the fence. You're just like, but some things just, they don't really move the needle. You know what I mean? With like, so for instance, I mentioned earlier on, like, Mateus Cunha, he's at the UFC in France. Man goes outside, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, cool. Like, I was the thing last week with the Grimsby thing. They fielded that ineligible player. If it was the other way around, you know, we were shit in that game against a fourth tier side. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, whatever. You know what I mean?
And that's the thing. One thing for me, which if you don't know it by now, because you know the whole, flip flop, whatever. I will change my mind when I see different things. I don't care.
The manager. Look, the manager. There you go. Okay, the manager. If the manager can say it, then that's fair game for everyone. Which is, we're emotional. You know what I mean? It's emotional, and can change your minds. Your fans at the end of the day. You can be reactive. Sometimes you don't have the luxury sometimes of being able to sort of sit be like, oh, maybe I should sleep on this before I say it, you know, particularly if you're live after a game, right? Or during a game, it's your reaction, you know. Sometimes you don't have the luxury of being like, how do I feel about this match? I'll wait until later on next week to say it. You don't have that opportunity, do you? You know, so it comes with the territory. I mean, you know, it's what it is. Boo-hoo us, Fleck.
Yeah, exactly. Like
what a terrible life.
Rubbish. So social media is a double-edged sword. Even for movies, reviewers are capable of ruining it because it doesn't fit their agenda or doesn't suit their taste. Exactly.
Yeah, I was hearing something about that the other day. Someone was talking about how reviewers and comedy films, most comedy films are slaughtered by critics. Like, there's just terrible, lowbrow humor. And then you watch it and you're like, this film fucking great. I'm really enjoying this. And then you just go, well, I guess it's different tastes.
That's why you got to decide for yourself. Don't rely on someone else to tell you if something's good or not. Go and you do
exactly.
it yourself.
Exactly. I started watching. There's a follow-up series, Fleck, to The Office, the US version of The Office.
Another one, is it?
Called The Paper, and I'm telling you, it's good.
I never got into the American Office.
I started watching it yesterday because all of the episodes were on Sky or whatever, and it's actually good. It shouldn't be good, but it's actually good. It's proper.
Is the same guy still in it? What's his name? I can't remember.
No, but they
explain
it. They explain it. They explain how it's good. It's
so would I have
good.
to go back and watch all of the American Office to know?
No, you wouldn't know. You wouldn't. But it's
even the Ricky Gervais Office. I never watched it like from start. I watched a few episodes here and there, but I never.
Like it's actually it's better than I thought. This is going to be terrible, but it was actually all right.
Sounds like an easy watch. I'm gonna have to look at that.
Yeah,
Manny says it would have been an 8 out of 10 window if we didn't waste 6 weeks chasing Gyökeres and actually got 2 midfielders. With that though, did we chase Gyökeres?
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
We don't know. Like, how strong was it?
Yeah, because we never. And by all accounts, if we did, it was never an option for him anyway because he only ever wanted to go to Arsenal. But then I think people in United would say, well, we never really, because the Šeško one, they were they were waiting, weren't they? And then suddenly it was like Newcastle, we're going to get Šeško. Yeah, I think there's definitely contact. I don't know if we chased him. You know what I mean? I don't know if
Black Sheep says, I can't get happy because I know Onana will be back. Yeah, he will. But what do I always say about the players on the big contracts and the bad decisions? Like, initiate the process, mate. That's all we can do. And that is what we're doing. At least for this year, he's not going to play in goal for us. And obviously, he's not going to come back from Trabzonspor and they go, right, so you had a good time out there, right, let's get you back in. Let's have a look at you. Let's see. That's not going to happen, is it? Like,
no.
It's over. It's over. This is the beginning of the end. So we can all agree. With that, all right, big show, people. Always is. Monday morning to set your week. Obviously, it's international break, the second week of it now. So leading into the week where halfway through, at least they all get back. You start getting your updates about players, and they get back in decent spirits, ready to attack the next batch of Premier League games, which obviously for us are really, really big because City and Chelsea out the break is massive, and I feel like we're just really due a big win. We need a big win in one of these 2 games. Both would be out of this world.
It's a big couple of weeks, isn't it? It's a big
couple of weeks because it can just shift. It can really.
It could get noisy again, couldn't it? It can get noisy.
Yeah, maybe even like I know it's a bit
noisy,
a bit meh, but like even if you got a draw or something, like just to stabilize,
right.
just so you give a good account of yourself, you stabilize a draw, you go get on with it.
Like we can't forget with that Burnley game, like how close we were to being really pissed off.
Yeah, because the draw would have been that.
A couple of minutes away
or not, but it would have whatever the reasoning for it being that. The fact would have been that we would have started the first 3 games and not got a win.
So it's like
one of them was against newly promoted side, and the other one was against the 4th tier team in the cup. So
it's but then like this is football, isn't it? Because if we if we get some positive results next 2 games, we're like bloody hell, this is all right. This isn't that bad.
And they are, and that's the thing with I do agree. Like, listen, you can lose against City anytime, especially at the Etihad, but this is the time to be, saying, right, we can go and compete against them. Absolutely, we could beat them. They're there for the taking, 100%.
Yeah,
they're not great. We can literally we can give them the sort of pressure that everyone thought Amorim would be under. 3 losses on the bounce. It'll be for City.
Yeah.
So let's go make it happen. Spurs, Brighton, United, all in a row. Loss. That'd be great. Do you know what I mean? Compound the misery for Pep. Let people question their rebuild and their manager. We can literally just pivot all of that over to them.
And when we play Chelsea next week, Champions League starts next week, doesn't it, as well? So I'm assuming we'll be playing them on the back of their first game in the Champions League.
Hopefully they're knackered.
So,
and Chelsea, again, listen, you look at them in their first few games. Listen, they've not been amazing.
Yeah.
Been amazing.
Yeah.
Got away with it here and there. Obviously, West Ham are crap. But, the first 2 games against, the first game against Palace and then the one the other day against Fulham, you know what I mean? Not the best. So, and they got to come to us and we raise it. So, again, I'm not quaking in my boots for either of these. We can go and give a good account of ourselves. There's no excuse why not. So, yes, there you go. All right, people, smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Of course, it'll be the red carpet later on this evening. Make sure you check that out. If anything else happens, which I don't even know what could, for the Saudi window and the who knows, we'll let you know. But we're out of it, guys. Take care. Peace.